Hi guys, welcome to our section about drinks. So first I'm going to talk to you about artificial sweeteners. Just their name says it all, right? Artificial. There's a real debate about this, but common sense can hint that anything man-made that is sweet, has got no calories, might not be that good for you. Some studies have shown that people who confuse their brain with sweet taste but no calories will eat the calorie deficit in food anyway. So in terms of saving calories, you are unlikely to gain anything. There is a significant number of people who are against artificial sweeteners, and they would like to link them to cancer, hormone disruption and also obesity. However, I can confirm that only appetite stimulation, weight gain and obesity are the potential risks. My research through reliable sources states that the evidence is not consistent in relation to cancer and other health concerns. But I think that the weight gain and obesity is bad enough, right? Otherwise, what else would be the drinking and eating the lighter versions? I'm not filled with confidence when it comes to artificial sweeteners. The studies that I have looked at were cancer positive when tested on animals. And I also know someone who had some serious heart problems from artificial sweeteners. And he was told this by his cardiologist. I am making my own assumptions here, which are not backed up by evidence yet. But my suggestion is to drink and eat the real thing and not the light version if you can't say goodbye to sweet taste. Also avoid light yogurts with zero sugar, unless that was its natural state, of course. A lot of sports drink, protein shakes and meal replacements are full of artificial sweeteners, so please read the labels and avoid anything that is labeled with sorbitol, acesuflame, aspartame, saccharin and sucralose. But stevia and xylitol are good. They're also classed as artificial sweeteners, but they occur naturally. Therefore, they are much easier for your body to deal with. But the best one out of all is called erythritol. Erythritol? It is found naturally and it doesn't cause cavities. I think they call it artificial because it has got no calories, but it's still sweet. But it's natural. But I know this is confusing. Coffee is another drink that is causing a lot of arguments amongst the professionals. I have read so many different studies about coffee and many of them contradicted themselves. But one thing is definite about coffee, it is highly addictive. How many people do you know that just can't live without a daily dose of coffee? I know people who drink only coffee and nothing else all day, which is definitely not a good idea since coffee is dehydrating. The researchers concluded that coffee consumption might be indeed associated with a small reduction of mortality rate. However, it seems that this varies with age, as the scientists recorded higher and lower mortality depending on the age of the subjects. Younger people seem to have benefited less from heavy consumption of coffee than older generation. And by heavy, I mean more than 4 cups of coffee. Other studies have shown that coffee consumption increases cholesterol. So if you don't have optimal cholesterol, then filtered or instant coffee is best, as the cholesterol-raising compound called cafestol seems to get trapped in the paper filter and it's not present in instant coffee. My advice is to avoid coffee if you suffer with heartburn, as this can make your problem worse. And if you drink a lot of alcohol, then drink at least 2 cups of coffee a day, as this has shown to halve the risk of developing chronic liver disease. Daily consumption was also associated with slightly increased risk of bone fracture in women and decrease in men. As you can see, the evidence is not consistent and it's quite confusing. So whilst the scientists can't make their mind up, my advice is don't overdo it. Stick to maximum 4 cups per day, ideally black and organic. So I live at the tea-obsessed country of Great Britain, where everyone seems to think that a cup of tea will resolve absolutely anything. It took me many years to try the famous tea with milk, but I started to like it after all. I am tempted to say that you can't go wrong with tea, but it really depends if you're drinking it with milk and sugar. And as you might expect, drinking tea with milk and sugar is nowhere near as good for you as drinking it plain. Black, white or green tea, they are all from the same evergreen shrub and praised highly for their powerful content of phytonutrients. And if we talk about herbal teas, that involves pouring hot water over any plant other than tea plant. Green tea in particular has never-ending list of health benefits. It has shown an important role in breast and gynecological cancer prevention, lowering cholesterol, lowering blood pressure, sugar and body fat. It may also protect your brain from cognitive decline and stroke. Although the plain green tea is not the tastiest, is it? We can choose the flavor type which takes away the bitterness. My top favorite herbal teas are green tea and hibiscus tea due to their high levels of antioxidants. Let's talk about this wonder plant of hibiscus. It's ranked as #1 antioxidant when it was compared with other 280 common beverages, beating even green tea. And it has also been studied by scientists at Tufts University in relation to high blood pressure, and the results were significant. So get on this wonderful tea if you want to help your high blood pressure. And please do rinse your mouth with water and don't brush your teeth for at least 1 hour after drinking this lovely tea, as it can soften your enamel. When you're drinking white tea, you just need to add a little bit of lemon and then you will get much more phytonutrients, as they seem to be released at certain pH. My other favorite is peppermint tea, which helps with digestion, and of course spicy ginger tea, which is so good if you feel the symptoms of cold or sore throat. I usually chop the ginger, boil it with water, let it cool down for a bit, and I put honey or maple syrup and lemon. But make sure this is not hot, as that will destroy a lot of the goodness from the lemon and honey. Ginger has been also used in reduction of migraines. A group of Danish physicians advised their patients to mix a 1/4 teaspoon of powdered ginger in water when they felt migraine coming, and it has worked. So give it a go, you've got nothing to lose. This topic is quite a bit of passion of mine, as I get very funny about water. Yes, water is definitely the #1 option for keeping hydrated, but there are a lot of factors to consider. Some studies found plastic particles in bottled water, which is clearly a concern. And if you're drinking water from plastic bottles, you must make sure that the bottle didn't go through hot temperatures, as that could cause the BPA carcinogens to leak into the water. It is scientifically proven that BPA causes cancer, therefore you should try to avoid those risks at all levels. Although the tap water in the UK is classed as one of the safest and purest waters in the world, I have got my doubts, as always. When discussed, especially by the official bodies, they always refer to the levels of toxins being so minimal that it won't cause any health issues. But look at how many toxins on small levels are we really exposed to. If we have a cocktail of toxins in everything we do, then your health will certainly be affected at some levels. So that's why I would rather be more skeptical and keep my water safe from chlorine, fluoride, lead, limescale and microplastics. There are also scientists who believe that a chemical female sex hormone found in contraceptive pill is getting into drinking water supplies, and that it reduces the male fertility rates. Also that it contributes to hormonal changes in males in particular, which could explain the growing gay population. One study carried out by the Environmental Agency showed that these active substances discharged into the environment had led to feminization of the male fish, causing them to switch genders. Also, some pharmaceutical compounds, including painkillers, antidepressants and cocaine byproducts have been found in the UK tap water but only at very tiny concentrations. As you can imagine, the water quality and toxin levels are alarming in some other countries. So wherever you are, guys, please do invest in a very good quality water filter. I personally avoid plastic as much as I can, and if I have the choice, I choose BPA-free plastic for my large water tank. I avoid drinking unfiltered water, and I store my water in glass bottles. Not only will you protect your health, but you will also help the environment by not using all the plastic bottles. I personally use Berkey filter, which seems initially quite expensive, but the filters last for 3 years, and after that the replacements are a third of the price of the original cost. I'm going to give you a little tip. I drink my filtered tap water with a little bit drop of organic apple cider vinegar. I use 1.5 liters with 3 to 4 drops of vinegar to give the water some taste. This will also help your digestion and overall alkalinity. But don't go crazy with the vinegar, as you can soften your tooth enamel. Coconut water, the nature's gift, is great and tasty hydrated with many health benefits. At the top must be the potassium levels and its blood pressure reducing properties. It also contains natural electrolytes and has antioxidant properties. It may benefit your heart, blood sugar and your kidney health. So if you are looking for a healthy drink, coconut water is the one to reach for. Of course, I'm going to say that alcohol is not good for you, but I personally enjoy the relaxed feeling that 1 or 2 glasses provide. Especially in the UK, the drinking culture is so common. I often speak to people who believe that 1 bottle of wine in the evening is standard. Let's be honest with ourselves, it is not. Because you are watching this video, I assume that you are interested in nutrition, and I don't have to tell you that excessive alcohol will not only cause you health issues, but will also age you. And it's not just the alcohol that does the damage, but it's our entire behavior that follows after few drinks. We tend to lose the willpower to exercise, eat well, we reach for cigarettes, eat junk food, and the entire scenario is just damaging. So, what can we do differently? When you're drinking alcohol, you should always consume some sort of protein-based meal, which will stop you from digesting the alcohol too quickly. And if you are unable to have a proper meal, then at least have some nuts before you start your boozy night. You should also make sure that you are drinking water to help with the dehydration. And if you have the boozy night, before you go to bed, try to have Diarylite in pint of water. That will help with headache and swelling in the morning. You can buy Diarylite from any pharmacy or Boots. Latest research also shows that drinking coffee helps to reduce liver from damage by reducing the abnormal enzymes. Other foods and beverages that helps your liver include greens, tofu, walnuts and avocado. Now I'm going to tell you something that you're dying to hear. There are few drinks that have been analyzed and announced as having some health benefits. Quite rightly, you might have guessed it's a red wine, and it's on the list for its high level of antioxidant and phytonutrients, including resveratrol. These compounds help to protect the body against the heart disease and cancer. Tequila is also on the list, but it must be 100% agave. In 2018, The Independent released an article stating that according to the research by Mexican scientists, tequila contains substances which enhance the absorption of calcium and potassium, therefore beneficial for the bone health. The agave plant contains high levels of inulin, which helps the digestive system by growing good bacteria. The best benefit is probably that it has been linked to weight loss, and it contains a special type of sugar which makes people feel fuller and eat less. Least but not last is cider. But not just any cider, but proper cider which is not made from concentrate. It is again rich in antioxidants and polyphenols, but also vitamin C and probiotics because it's fermented drink and it's fabulous for digestive system. But let's get back to planet Earth, guys. All the above is beneficial only in small amounts, so 1 glass or 1 shot per day. Juicing and smoothies very popular at the moment. I have a little bit of a diva attitude when it comes to juices, as on every holiday I demand freshly squeezed juices. There is a huge difference between juice from concentrate and freshly squeezed juice. But don't be fooled by the 100% fruit juice on the packaging either, as that can still be made from concentrate. This means that the juice was dehydrated and rehydrated, which massively affects the nutritional values. There is pretty much none, just plenty of sugar. So I repeat, again, do read the labels, guys. Although the real juice is full of active enzymes, vitamins, minerals and antioxidants, it's not all that innocent either. It can be also full of sugar. And if you juice in just fruit, then be careful because there has been big rise in diabetes since juicing became popular. However, if you juice vegetables, that's a different story. I don't expect you to drink disgusting cabbage juice or anything like that, but if you add small amount of fruit for better taste and make the rest mainly from vegetable, then happy days. Some professionals are against juicing as the process removes fibers. In their opinion, eating the entire fruit offers much more benefits, and I totally agree with this statement. However, freshly squeezed orange juice can offer a huge amount of different nutrients that we will never be able to eat in those quantities in food form. Perhaps if you are a real cow, you could. Let's have a look at broccoli. We talk about broccoli in more detail in the cancer section. Broccoli and few other vegetables have proven cancer suppressing and preventing properties, especially in raw form. The thought of eating raw broccoli, even just one head, it's not very pleasant, is it? But if you juice it with beetroot, carrots and apple and maybe add some ginger and turmeric, you're gonna have an amazing antioxidant drink. My advice is to drink juices in moderation. Drink them fresh as soon as you make one. Don't drink a lot of them, just half a glass is enough, and dilute them with water. Sip them slowly, ideally on empty stomach. Where do I start with protein shakes? Well, perhaps we should have a look at who actually needs protein shakes, as most of us manages to fulfill the daily requirements. The right diet will have around 0.75 grams of protein per kilo of your body weight per day. Then you shouldn't need to worry. This is on average around 45 grams for average woman and 55 grams for average man. That's about 2 portions of meat, fish, nuts, pulses or tofu per day. As a guide, the protein should fit into palm of your hand. For those who are trying to build a significant muscle mass, please don't be fooled by the myth about essential protein shake drinking. Even if you are an athlete training more than once a day, you should eat twice as much protein as the average adult. In which case, it's better to spread your protein over the day and combine it with carbohydrates for energy. I personally would recommend plant-based protein as it's much healthier than animal source. This is explained in a lot of detail in our dairy section. You don't need to be eating animal protein to be strong and muscly. Living proof are successful plant-based athletes, such as Germany's strongest man, Patrick Ironman champion Dave Scott, and British cyclist Lizzie Armstead. I'm not sure about my pronunciation though, so excuse me. If you still feel the need to reach for protein shake, then make sure there are no artificial sweeteners. Read the labels, choose the one with the shortest ingredient list, and Google strange sounding ingredients. I would again recommend plant-based version. My personal favorite is Complete Nutrition and it's called Huel. Unless you are an athlete or you exercise intensively for more than 90 minutes, please stay away from sports drinks. You don't need them. They are full of sugar, salt and caffeine. Drinking sports drinks will not add to your fitness levels if you do a routine 30 to 60 minutes of standard training, and they will definitely not help you if you don't do any exercise. Energy drinks such as the favorite, which gives you wings, are definite no-no. Just one can of it contains shocking 27 grams of sugar. When combined with alcohol, this can cause extreme dehydration and alcohol intoxication, as it reduces the drunken feeling. Chronic intake could also lead to decline in kidney function, type 2 diabetes, increased blood pressure, tooth decay, and caffeine toxicity.